edits and stuff like that.
It's pretty interesting.
Let me pull this up on my iPad.
Yeah, that had me actually take I took a look at some of the rosters, and I was just, the Capitals in particular, and I was just like, okay, let me look at my defensive awareness for my guys. Yeah, that had me actually take a. Yep, that sounds like we're live.
Yep.
No, I just wanted to. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we was live. No, I just wanted to make sure we was live. That's all.
Oh, okay. How about
because I heard it on my iPad and my other monitor. It pulled up like this.
Wait a minute. Are you using property of Chinese equipment
to view this? I'm not gonna go there. This shit is crazy, man. With all that.
Yeah, that's a reminder, folks. If you're using an Apple product, you're also on borrowed time with China.
Right.
# free Hong Kong.
Hey, you know what, Fife? We're gonna get into that. All right, we're gonna get into that. All right, I see you already. You had that typed out, ready to hit enter as soon as we went live. I know you.
Yeah, he was like ready to go. You know,
because Fife
49 is going down this week.
Fife ain't never in here on time until it's time about the fucking 49ers. He's in here early.
Exactly. You see that, right? Shout out to everybody in the chat who's here early, man. Shout out to B5. Shout out to Spec Pooh. He's around here again, fussing about his Eagles, hoping they make a trade. Listen, man.
But you know what? It was interesting to bring up a particular player the Eagles just released because he went to my old high school, and for them to talk that shit before, yeah.
You know,
Wildlake taught him better than that.
We're gonna get into that though, because you told me something that made me not so surprised about that.
I remember.
So we're gonna get into that. Yeah. We're gonna get into that a little bit.
All right. With that being said, man, we're at episode 91. I mean, we're still chugging a long way to 100. We still need to come up with something.
Oh, you know
special.
what?
What's up?
I need to bring this up. Mm-hmm. Episode 91 is very special, only because it was the last time the Redskins won a Super Bowl in 1991.
Well, hey, that was also the year of Michael Jordan's first championship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I'll be honest, that was the year I actually became a fan of the Chicago Bulls because I was never really into basketball like that. My thing was I was a big 49ers fan, and in 91, that's when the Bulls actually was on TV and I actually saw them. So I became a fan throughout the playoffs of the Bulls. On that playoff run, and
so you're saying you're a bandwagon fan?
I pretty much was bandwagon back then. I'm not gonna lie, I'm real.
Most of the Bulls fans, to be honest, are bandwagon fans.
Listen, I was not.
Are you sure? Because I started liking the Bulls in like '87.
Look, I was not.
But why did you hop on the bandwagon? Because of MJ, right?
Because the guy's last name
you
was
didn't
mine.
You didn't hop on because of Dave Corzine.
Yes. No. But the guy's last name matched my own, and then I already told you why I started looking at the Bulls. It was because how is this one man destroying my team, the Bullets? And then I started watching more. I was like, okay. I see what's going on.
Yeah, I was 9 years old at the time, so I mean, hey, what? Call me a bandwagon. Call me a bandwagon for that. I'm fine. I'll live.
We're actually gonna talk about that a little bit.
I was there when they were getting beat up by the Celtics and Pistons.
Well, I have something to talk about on that bandwagon topic, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit because I have something that I've been meaning to say about that.
Well, like I was saying from the beginning, I mean, this is 91. We're a few away from 100. We need to do something special for 100. I mean, I'll come up with something between now and then. That will be up.
Yeah, like not talk about anybody.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Well, we've done that for a whole bunch of episodes for the people to watch, but
we're gonna
apparently we've done it every episode, but
that's gonna be in the next couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4, probably about a month would be up to 91. I mean to 100.
Well, if you think about it, we're 9 episodes away. That's in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so halfway through
3.5, maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's
halfway through November, second week of November, basically.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll work on that. Come up with something for you guys. Maybe do a giveaway or something. Anything like that. I know Chris Thomas in the chat already said that he wanted to know if we're going to talk about the XFL draft. The draft is started today and it ends tomorrow, so that's going to be a topic for Thursday.
Cordell Jones,
yeah,
in DC. All Ohio State QBs in DC. That's nice.
So we're gonna look into that on Thursday because that's when the draft will be finally done. But as of right now, we're gonna be talking about obviously it's Q&A. So if you got any questions, put them in the chat. Me, Bills, and DJ will check them and we'll talk about those. We're gonna talk about the NFL. Few weeks that went by. Some teams look good, some teams don't. Some teams are frauds. Some teams could turn it around. So who looks like they're supposed
to hear that, Fife? Some teams are frauds.
So we'll find out what teams.
We're about to find out this week as the 49ers travel to Washington.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, if this was fucking 2012, maybe I would be a gatekeeper of the league. Well, shit.
So we're gonna look into that. We also
watch out, Adrian Peterson about to run all over the.
Well, that I could see happening. So
and we signed a fullback this week. We're going places down.
Jesus.
All right, so we're also going to talk about Fortnite. Everybody was dying on the internet about them showing off. They thought it was shut down, only to find out they're doing a season 2. Or was it a season 2 or chapter 2 or something?
It was a chapter 2. It was chapter 2. 10 seasons, and then everybody went crazy because the whole universe disappeared, and Ninja set it off, and the kids were crying in their parents' arms, and So we're definitely gonna talk about that aspect of the. We're not gonna talk about Fortnite in this bullshit ass season 2. I don't care about all that. I just want to talk about how these people are reacting to it because it's absolutely ridiculous. How I guess they're kids, I get it, but there's a limit to some of this shit, and they got to go. So they weren't all kids.
No, they weren't. We're gonna get into that too. They weren't all.
In B5, we still won though.
So we're gonna get right into these scores of what the
intros. Jesus.
Go ahead and do your
intro. Get the intro.
No, I was ready to go, but you can go ahead and let everybody know.
You the type that skips forward or something like that. I'm trying to figure this out.
I just like the topics. I like the topics at hand. I'm ready to go.
You just go straight forward, don't you?
Well,
yes. Hey, no dinner.
Based on that discussion we had off air last week, it's probably good if I'll take his advice that I might need to skip a little. Anyway, my week's been chill, bro. I just recorded another song. I bought NHL today, so I'm eager to talk to DJ about that. Might not be on air because a lot of y'all might not, really care about it. But I pre-ordered WWE 2K20 today, which seems like kind of a bad mistake. Seemed like kind of a bad idea. So hopefully there's a day one patch to fix a couple things that I heard about. But yeah, I've been good, man. I've been good.
What about you, DJ?
Yeah, I've just been chilling. Redskins won this past week, so. And Adrian Peterson ran for 100 yards. Fuck you, Jay Gruden.
I did a live stream earlier today, man. Gears 5. It was pretty fun. Thanks for everybody.
No one knew about.
Yeah, it was a good bit of people.
All of a sudden, it appears on my subscription list as done like a couple hours ago. I'm like, what?
Hey,
where's my notification?
Hey, Bills was there. Hey, hit the button, man. All you gotta do is hit that little bell. But Bills was there. We had a good bit of people there. Had a good discussion.
Yeah, Tadal was in there.
Yeah, Tadal 52 was there. I mean, we had a pretty good discussion.
I guess I'll watch the replay then.
Yeah, it's 3 hours long. Good luck.
All right, now I wouldn't in 3 hours.
I don't have to watch every single second of it.
Shit, I wasn't in there 3 hours.
No, ain't nobody was in there that long. A lot of people came and gone. Me personally, man, I just like the gameplay, man. I'm just in there playing. Whoever shows up, they show up. A lot of people say that, we don't get any views. I mean. So I mean that claim.
And it's funny because whenever I live stream, I don't see any of these people in my live stream. I see Bills.
Yeah,
maybe Rome. But no one else wants to show up, and then I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people come through here, but they don't really come through the live streams. I mean, it's all
they want to watch Gears, but they don't want to watch No Man's Sky. What's up?
Well, we're not gonna go there.
We're out here objectifying our viewers and shit. Goddamn.
Hey man, listen, man. We do talk about sports and sports gaming, but one thing about all three of us, we do play games. We don't just sit here and be fixated on one particular game all day long and wonder if another company's gonna make a game. We don't do that. We play all types of games around here. We're trying to show you guys that we do. With that being said, let's jump to these scores and highlight. Well, Ain't got the highlights.
Of course, the highlights.
I'm about to say.
We ain't got it like that. We ain't got like. We
I'm
don't
like, come on. We got to get the Madden highlights.
Right.
Not
we can't pull out the overhead projector and shit.
I know, right? We pull up those highlights, man. We pull up those highlights.
You better throw some pictures from the Polaroid up there.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll put on a better halftime show than fucking Madden.
Yeah, we put up some highlights.
Right, we do a weekly review. Madden don't give us a fucking thing. It's like an unfinished game. But anyway,
so what's up with these scores, man? Let us know what's going on. Hey, y'all come up with some questions too, so we can talk, man.
Broadcast Cam Madden. Look, I'm in there on y'all streams. Fife, I'm in there on your streams when you do broadcast. Madden. It's actually entertaining because I'll be the first to admit I can't do what you do in broadcast, bro.
I can do it too. I've done it before, but
I've done it a couple times.
The thing about B Fife, man, he's on the West Coast, so his video, his live streams are so like in opportune times. Like for him, it's normal time for him, but for us to be like 12:30 at night, I'm like, oh really? It's like it's way off. But
I mean, Fife, honestly, the last time I played broadcast cam was Madden 12 when they pretty much first got it. That's when I played broadcast cam. I was good at it back then, but I mean, you're talking 7 years ago. So,
well, I look at it like this. Honestly, I feel like the pacing of the game is a lot better on broadcast mode anyway.
It is. I mean, look, Madden 25 probably looked the best in broadcast mode because of broadcast cam because of the running animations. But now it's such an eyesore that it's like. Even broadcast,
and you can't even slow down the game speed to allow RPM to work.
That's the thing.
RPM is still there,
right?
Yeah, I think the broadcast cam really is for people who like to watch CPU versus CPU.
Yeah.
So what's up with these
bills? Ain't normal.
I'm not even going there, but So the first score was the Patriots beat the Giants 35-14. We all pretty much had that.
I didn't think it was gonna be that wide of a margin, though. Honestly,
I thought it was gonna be one of the two. I thought either the Giants were going to pull out a close one, or the Patriots were gonna just. It was. That's what I expected it to be too. I was like, honestly, I felt like they would have a harder time if Saquon was there because they could key in on Saquon, but because he wasn't there, Daniel Jones really showed what he was made of for a lot of the game, and then they started getting pressure. So I can't knock him for some of the throws he made. He's a rookie, We can't expect him to play like John Elway in his rookie season forever. Eventually, and I don't know why I'm giving John Elway credit, but eventually he's going to hit that roadblock, and it just happened to be the Patriots. We're the best defense in the league, so. Everybody had that. Nothing too surprising as far as the score. Defense played dominant again. Offense still kind of struggling. But yeah, when the Giants get Saquon back, I'm looking at them possibly being in the hunt for a wild card spot. Believe it or not, the way that the way
the NFC East is right now. Jesus Christ, the Redskins are still in it.
Yeah, they are. They're very much still in it. So.
Right now, the Giants at 2-4. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of games left, so we just gotta see how Saquon comes back. But yeah, the next game was the Cowboys and the Jets. DJ was the only one, to pick the Jets, and
he really did, didn't he?
He did. He picked the Jets. I was talking to DJ about it. I'm like, well, DJ, you're the only one to pick the Jets. So that was when they were up 16-zip or something like that. So,
yeah, and I was just like, yeah, it's early. I'm thinking Dallas is gonna come back, and they started to, and then Dak Prescott.
Yeah. It's funny because I talked to somebody about Jason Garrett's job a couple weeks ago, and I was like, it's not really the time right now to fire him because they're looking really good. And if you wanted to fire him, you probably should have fired him last year, the year before that. Now I'm looking at it, and they're kind of back to where they were, and I'm like, yeah, get his ass out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Hold up, everybody. Just quiet for a second.
Wait, what?
Does anybody hear anything? We them boys? Where?
No, wait. Look at the comment section. Pooh said Ramsey? Yeah. Ramsey to the Rams?
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, okay. You know what? That's why Marcus Peters' ass was gone. That's why.
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Nope, it's true.
Wow.
I'm looking at it on Twitter. It's true.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Verified by who?
Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jalen Ramsey's being traded to LA Rams for 2 first-round picks in 2021, and a 4th-round pick. And wow,
that is you know what? That is an excellent pickup for them because they got rid of Marcus Peters earlier today, and people were wondering why that happened. And there you go.
I knew why they were getting rid of Marcus Peters.
You guys still want Josh Norman? Give him for a couple of picks.
I mean, let's be honest. There's no reason for any Eagles fan to be happy about it. I mean, it would have been Namdi Asamoah all over again, and then you'd be mad anyway. Either way, y'all don't run man. They don't run man defense.
Look, this is what the Eagles need to figure out. The Eagles need to figure out how to find a running back that gets more than 2 yards a carry that you signed all that fucking money for when you traded for him and Jordan Howard, because this sorry ass is gonna make sure y'all don't make the playoffs this year. And I mean,
all seriousness. I mean, I get it. You want a top notch, cornerback because your secondary is not that good. But why get somebody that don't fit your scheme? Yeah.
I mean,
you saw that what happened with Namdi. Namdi ended his whole career got derailed by going to the Eagles. If he would have stayed where he was when he was with the Raiders, he would have still been probably like one of the best defensive.
That wasn't entirely his fault, though. That coach was calling a zone, and
it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It derailed his entire career. I mean, if he would have stayed in man at Oakland the entire time, he could have been one of the top 10 defensive.
Yeah, but they probably told him he was going to be their shutdown corner, and the whack ass defensive coordinator was calling zone most of the time, which he was weak at.
That's not on him.
Real quick. I just want to say how great Asante Samuel was, because even in zone, that man was dominating.
Oh, he was. Wait
a minute. Hold up. I thought Asante Samuel was a zone guy anyway.
He was a tweener. He was a tweener, but he was a man guy that just jumped a lot of routes. That's kind of what made him so good.
Right.
At zone was how instinctive he was.
Because that's one thing that we noticed when he came to Atlanta. A lot of people didn't know. We didn't know that he was a tweener. A lot of people, he can do both.
Asante's the man, y'all. I keep talking about people. They say, "Oh, Asante ain't no Hall of Famer." Yeah, okay, you better look them numbers up.
When they played a lot of cover 2, you remember he was on the. Let's see, I saw that mostly when he wound up on the Patriots. When they were playing some cover 2, he jumped a lot.
Yeah,
that's when we had physical cornerbacks, and now we're kind of getting back to that. But we're so in love with nickel man that it's like But
next game.
So the next game was. I gotta get back to it because I had to look up that Ramsey news.
Yeah, I had to do that too.
Panthers.
Yeah, I just saw it on Bleacher Report too. So yeah.
So Panthers and the Buccaneers, 37-26. We all took the Panthers, and Jameis, thank you for that. 5 interceptions.
Jesus Christ!
My boy called 4, and he gave him even one more than that. And
somebody actually called that he was going to throw 4.
Yeah, he said we were talking during the game. He's like, yeah, James is gonna throw 4 picks. He was kind of joking, but I mean,
I'm about to say he had to be.
Well, he was joking, but at the same time, he was serious. He's like, bro, he's playing so bad, he's gonna throw 4 picks. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, James starts racking up the picks. I'm like, fuck, you got what, 3 at halftime? I mean, shit. It was bad, man. It was bad.
Even then, what does that say? Even then, he threw 5 picks, and
there was one he threw right to Luke Kuechly though.
But I'm just saying he threw 5, but they only lost by 11. You throw 5 picks in any game, you're supposed to lose by like 4.
Well, McCaffrey couldn't run the ball. I mean, the Buccaneers have the best running rush defense in the league. So
yeah.
I remember saying that Jameis was going to be Jameis in London. So
yeah, you did say that.
The next game was the Seahawks and the Browns. Seahawks won 32-28. The Browns made that kind of interesting.
I think I picked the Seahawks, right?
We all picked the Seahawks.
We
all picked the Seahawks. We thought it was going to be another bad loss for the Browns, and well, there you go.
Did Baker Mayfield 227? I mean,
22 for 37, 249. He had a couple of really bad picks in that game.
Yeah.
That game started off promising for them too.
Yeah,
Seattle just stormed right back.
I mean, Russell Wilson is looking like between him and Christian McCaffrey, I don't think there's any drop off as far as MVP conversation right now. I think those two have to be leading that charge right now. But yeah, I mean, Jesus, it's pretty impressive what Russell Wilson is doing with the rookie receiver and other receivers that nobody would really want. So pretty impressive stuff. The next game was the Texans and the Chiefs, and what do we say on this podcast? You never pick against Deshaun Watson.
Exactly.
Well, none of us picked against him.
Talk about a fool's gold team, but no, we'll get to that. But
somebody's on Facebook. They gonna get blown out. I'm like, okay,
who's gonna get blown out?
The Texans. The Texans gonna get blown out. I'm like, all right. I left the house. I went to drive my aunt to her storage spot real quick to pick something up since she just moved. I come back home. And I'm like, yep, they're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to win this game. The
problem is that the Chiefs defense is horrible. And I put a tweet out the other day and said, look, once they sign Pat Mahomes to that big contract, you think this defense is bad now? I mean, it's like,
seriously, have we ever seen a quarterback? And it's not like the tale of two spots. Like, it's not like he plays horrible at home, but I've never seen a quarterback that is so good on the road. It's like a switch flips, bro. I don't get it.
I don't think it's necessarily a switch. I think he's just one of those guys that play when everybody is necessarily against him, or he knows that the crowd. Yeah. He's like one of those guys that feeds off when the crowd is not behind him. I mean, we saw that when it was basically almost like an away game when he was playing the Alabama Crimson Tide the last two times.
Right.
Yeah, it's something that's been there for a long time. So I don't think it's like a switch. It's just he's just built for those type of moments.
It's like, who goes to Kansas City and scores 20 points in a quarter? It's crazy.
Right about now, anybody can do it. But
but I'm saying, Kansas City, like they've always been just an amazing home team, even when the defense isn't really that good. It's just like
the atmosphere in the crowd is amazing. It's just the team itself.
Shit, they were the ones that rushed and got rid of Marcus Peters with their old dumbasses. Yeah, look at it now. Exactly, look at it now. So, Texans are definitely looking like contenders rather than pretenders. The other team not so much. We'll get into that. Redskins and the Dolphins. Why did the Redskins make this so fucking interesting? We all picked the Redskins. 17-16 Redskins. I didn't watch this game. McLaurin played really well.
I kind of had a feeling that the Redskins was going to win regardless, but I mean,
I did too. That's why I picked them. I thought they made
it interesting though. They made it real interesting.
Like, the one thing that I saw in this game was that, Bill Callahan is not a liar. He emphasized the run, and he did exactly that. Adrian Pearson had 23 carries for 118 yards, and he kept going with it. He let's see, in a couple of things before the game, he was just like, it's not about the yards that we get, it's the amount of attempts.
Yep.
Just to make it seem like we're more balanced instead of run, no yards. Okay, we're going to pass for the rest of the game. Our quarterbacks are getting killed.
Yeah, like I told you, man, Callahan has a pretty good offensive mind. He's not the best one out there, but he can get you places if you really gets it going.
And then McLaurin. Good.
Oh yeah. I don't think there's a guy. Right now, the way he's emerging, I don't think there's anybody that can cover him.
Who's that?
His route running, man.
Terry McLaurin.
His feel for route running and the way he goes about just talking about it, just like DJ said early on, he's the first person I saw talk about it. The dude carries himself like a number one. He's not a diva. The way he talks about route running, he has it broken down to a science. When you watch, you can really tell. And other former receivers are starting to notice it. He reminds me a lot of Devontae Adams, maybe a little less explosive, a little bit, because Devontae Adams is kind of a freak of nature, but it's like he doesn't have an explosion. It's like what he doesn't have an explosion, he makes up with just being smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's just smooth, man. So yeah, I've watched a couple Redskins games this year, and he definitely stuck out. He's a good one. He's a really good one.
And then there was one play towards the end of the game, that final touchdown before the failed 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
looking at that play, I'm like, I didn't understand really the defense on that, because on that touchdown, you had Josh Norman, he was playing off into the outside, and you had Collins playing the flat, which nobody was there in the flats. So why he continued to carry, he kind of did one of those things you see in Madden where the CPU will carry their defender all the way to a place just to go to that spot, and no matter if there's a person there or not. And it was like an easy, oh, but you know what? The reason why Miami came back, because they put in Fitzpatrick, because Rosen was having an awful game. He was getting sacked. He got picked off a couple times. Yeah. So if anything, the Dolphins came back because of Fitz.
Josh Rosen has had the worst luck of any.
Yeah, no.
Outside of injuries, he's had the worst luck of any top 10 quarterback that I've ever seen.
Yeah, no joke.
I mean, it's like you go from the Cardinals, who aren't trying to win, to the Dolphins, who aren't trying to win, and then in the game that you're playing badly, they have you on a short leash and say, "Oh, fuck it, we'll pull you." Like, no, motherfucker. If you wanted to win, you would fucking put a line out there worth of shit. First off, you wouldn't have traded the best lineman on our team. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you still end up losing. So now you crushed them. You still end up losing. Get them out of there.
What's up with the next game?
Eagles in the Vikings.
Oh, this is funny.
Yeah,
except funny. DJ picked the Eagles. Before we get into this game, I just want to give everybody a peek behind the curtain. Now, I remember DJ. We had this discussion about a year ago. Actually, about a year ago around this time.
I think so. Yeah.
And we were talking about Zach Brown. And, DJ said he had heard from, people who are close to Zach Brown. He's not really the best leader. Well, yeah.
Zach's the person you don't want to put a mic in front of him.
You talk that shit. All that shit about
this game cost him great. And it's funny because it's like, he can't defend against the pass, but basically by motivating Kirk Cousins to just light the Eagles up, like he did, that cost him his job.
He all that shit about Kirk Cousins, and then they put the mic in front of him. Oh, can we talk about the game? Yeah, we can't talk about the game. He fucking y'all.
You get roasted by the reporters after the game. That's sad.
Can we talk about the game?
Not only did you get roasted during the game, you got roasted by the reporters after the game. So Kirk Cousins probably looking from a distance, was like, Zach, you like that?
Right. You get your clown ass out of here. Anyway, they got dominated. Stephon Diggs, shout out to him. I love when players voice their displeasure, but they don't just go out there and sulk about it. They go out there and ball out. He had 3 touchdowns.
Well, not only that, I mean, you got to think about this. It's also kudos to the game plan and the teammates.
Of course.
Because the game plan was obviously to get him involved because of the way he was feeling. And the teammates
and attack the Eagles' weakness.
No, that too. And the teammates got to rally around him to make sure he was in position to be successful. You don't see stuff like that with teammates or whatever. You don't see that in general. You find a disgruntled player, 9 times out of 10, they'll just let them bitch and moan. But that's what good teammates, that's what good teams do. They try to make, if somebody's not feeling the best about their confidence or their team in general, they just give them a bit of reassurance. And you don't see that much. And I mean, not only in the NFL, but just in any sport for that matter.
And case in point, Jordan Howard, 13 carries for 49 yards. So there you go. There's your big running back pickup. Anyway,
and then wait a minute before we move on. The Kirk Cousins watch for paid DLC. So far, he's at 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So his goal is to get more than 30 touchdowns.
Well, better pick up the pace. That's all I can say. Saints at the Jaguars. We all picked the Jaguars, and I feel comfortable in that decision. But fuck, I mean, it's getting kind of hard to pick against the Saints. 13.
It is because they're finding ways to win, but later on down in the season, the fact they got Drew Brees coming back, that should make a big difference because they'll put more points on the board. But if they just had Teddy Bridgewater for the rest of the year, there would have been you're probably looking at a first round, elimination if they play like this. But with Drew Brees coming back, they would put up more than 12 and 13 points a game. So they should be fine. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Unfortunately, the Jaguars couldn't capitalize because they had various times to do so. But yeah, kudos to the Saints. They did what they're supposed to do.
Too bad the defense won't be playing as well when Breeze comes back, though.
I don't even think the defense is playing all that good, to be honest with you.
I mean,
you got teams that's just not executing against them.
Hey guys, I'm looking at one of the tweets on the update on this. I guess you're going by the ESPN because now I'm following along that same, and I'm looking at the tweets on the side. Phil Yates puts in on Twitter, Jalen Ramsey is about to have the fastest healing back of all time.
Of course.
But that was like 7 hours ago.
Oh, he's playing on Sunday.
He's playing on Sunday, absolutely.
He's playing on Sunday for
the only way he won't play is the NFL say, hey, you got traded too late in the week, so you can't play. That's the only way he won't play.
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna come out in the field, right? They're gonna win. Everybody, the Rams are back. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. They won based on adrenaline and having a new player that, yes, he is a shutdown corner, but let's stop.
Pooh's out here saying the Eagles' Twitter is heated right.
Who fucking cares?
Wait a minute. Let me finish. We've all made a unwritten decision, a non-verbal decision here on First Rate, not even talk about the Eagles and their fans because they're very irrational. And you can't, they don't even talk about X's and O's. They just talk about
I want to see what that fat ass high cholesterol super fan that should fucking calm down before he has a heart attack. I want to see what he has to say about it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I would like to see that same person stuff
they don't even first. That's the thing. They don't even talk about X's and O's. They're talking about getting somebody who does not even fit their scheme.
Of course.
They want him on the team.
They just want players that they can blame at the end of the year. But
they want good players. No matter how good they play on with their scheme, or they don't matter if they have like 3 top-notch running backs. They just want them.
Yeah, but they also want players. They
don't speak on X's and O's. That's why, like, after a while, if you're an Eagles fan, okay, good luck to you, and because they don't even talk X's and O's. We know Jalen Ramsey.
I look at it like this: let the peasants fight among the peasants. So
I mean, VF, like I said, they want players to blame. Remember, they blamed Vince Young because God forbid he says the word super team, and like get out of here. Yeah, he said dream team, big fucking deal, and they blamed him for the entire season. Eagles fans just look for anybody to blame. But anyway,
that man on suicide watch because
I have nothing against the Eagles fans in general, but that's just how they are. It's like they don't talk irrational when it comes to their team. They're that heated all the time.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Pooh. You said he's garbage, but that's not what they were talking about. They blamed him for his dream team comment. They didn't blame him for his play. So
no, they didn't. They really did.
Bengals and Ravens. What the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
I picked the Bengals in this one, and they lost by 6. It was actually closer than I expected. Andy Dalton, 21 for 39, 235, 1 pick. Lamar Jackson didn't throw a touchdown in this game, but he did rush for 150 yards and throw for 236 yards. Pretty impressive.
19 carries at that.
Insane. Absolutely insane. The Bengals lead rusher had 1 carry for 17 yards. What in the fuck is going on over here? Your leading rusher had a carry for 17 yards, as in 1.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know.
There's not much to say here. Ravens.
I knew the Bengals was gonna lose that one. I mean, between them, the Falcons, and the Dolphins. I mean, you're looking
we're gonna get to that fucking Falcons game.
God. Yeah, I know we are.
God, we're gonna get to that Falcons game. Niners and the Rams. Well. You heard it here first. The Rams are frauds. We said this last week. We all picked the 49ers. I don't think you're going to find many podcasts if they do picks that pick the 49ers. We all picked the 49ers confidently.
I got a somewhat bias at picking the 49ers, so I don't think I picked
the 49ers. Yes, we know the Georgia Southern's all.
We know already.
Yeah. We know. So
you're going to want to pick the 49ers this week. We know where that's going.
Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry, I'm still not buying it. I'm not buying it. 24 for 33, 243, one pick.
He put up okay numbers.
And he didn't have a touchdown.
They're just okay.
Well, they're okay compared to Jared Goff. 13 for 24, good for 78 yards.
No, that's not okay compared. That's not compared. No, Jimmy Garoppolo looking like Montana compared to Garoppolo right now.
Yeah, I mean, compared to Goff, you ain't lying. George Kittle, 8 for 103. Anybody who's not calling him the best tight end in football right now, I don't know what's wrong with you. Yeah, the 49ers look for real right now. If only Richard Sherman would stop opening his fucking mouth and telling us every chance he gets. Like, this is the thing, just real quick. I know I went in on Richard Sherman last week, and it seems like every week he's going to have something stupid that he says. But the thing that gets me is, like, underdogs don't get supporters by basically just objectifying and bashing everybody for not cheering for them originally. That's not how you get supporters. That's not how you get people on your side. If Rocky Balboa in the fucking post-fight interview said, "Oh, y'all should have been cheering for me in the first place," and my wife Adrian was sitting, nobody would give a fuck. They'd walk out of the theaters because nobody wants to hear that. So for Richard Sherman to try to act like there's some underdogs and, oh, well, whoever didn't cheer for us, keep saying we're trash. You sound stupid. People can change their tune. People can say that they missed something. They can say that they didn't know you guys were going to be this good because, quite frankly, nobody thought y'all were going to be this good other than irrational-ass 49er fans. So I'm tired of this whole, we're underdogs, but we shouldn't be looked at as underdogs. Stop it. Seriously, stop it.
Yeah, whatever.
That's like Patriots fans saying, well, shit, you should have picked us against the Rams in that Super Bowl. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, seriously, who picked us against the greatest show on turf? But anyway, the next game was the Falcons and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Well,
I told y'all. I only thing I got wrong because I thought they were going to win by 2 touchdowns.
VF picked the Cardinals. Me and DJ went the logical route, or so we thought.
All you gotta do is look at Kyler Murray numbers, and you'll see exactly what I mean.
Cardinals won 34-33.
Just look at Kyler Murray's numbers. That's all.
Kyler Murray. Everybody was been keeping up with him this year. 27 for 37, 340, and 3 touchdowns.
Right, that's all you need to know. I told you that defense is terrible. They made it. I told you it was gonna make him like Doug Flutie. Thought I was playing.
I'm not gonna read Matt Ryan's numbers because he continues to kill, and I don't want to make him out to be the issue because he's not.
No, his numbers are phenomenal. It's like this ridiculous. I'm gonna put the numbers up. I'm gonna tell you guys the numbers. If you guys was to sit here and say that Matt Ryan was gonna throw for 30 for 36, that's only 6 incompletions, 356 yards. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. If you think he had a stat line like that, there's no way you're going to tell me that the Falcons are going to lose that game.
Devontae Freeman almost rushed for 100 yards.
Yeah, you had Julio Jones with 8 catches for 108. You had
Austin Hooper had 8 catches for 117 and a touchdown.
Right. You put up those type of numbers, you're going to try to tell me that, the Falcons are going to lose that game? I mean, because the defense sucks. The defense is terrible.
That's insane.
That's insane. You put up those type of numbers. The dude completed over almost 80 or above % of his passes. That's unreal in a loss.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's horrible. So the question becomes once again, when is Dan Quinn's pink slip coming?
It should have happened. It should have happened as soon as that game was over, bro.
So I mean, it's sad that we're asking you this, but at this point, it's like, is he even gonna be the next coach fired? I mean, fuck.
He needs to be. It is the other way around. I don't care what anybody say. He has to go.
Titans and the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop picking the Titans.
Yeah, VF went out on a limb again.
Yeah, I did. I honestly went out on a limb on that one. I didn't think they were gonna win that.
Titans got shut out. All right. I don't know why
got benched.
Yep. I don't know why I bought into this fucking hype after they beat the Browns. I've been picking them a couple weeks in a row, and now I realize that was a fluke. I mean, Ryan Tannehill. They don't even have Mariota's stats up here because he played so bad. Ryan Tannehill came in and threw 13 for 16, 144 and a pick. Flacco didn't even play well. He threw 18 for 28, 177 and a pick. He's all of a sudden Charlie checkdown. Derrick Henry, he's on my fantasy team, by the way. 15 carries, 28 yards, and I sat his ass down. Phillip Lindsay, 15 carries, 70 yards. Not bad. He had a touchdown, so he helped me out. Derrick Henry, I sat.
Yeah, Marcus went 7 for 18, 63 yards, 2 interceptions, was sacked 3 times. But Tannehill was sacked 4 times.
Yeah.
With a rating of 9.5.
And really, if you watch this game, all you got was field goal first quarter, field goal second quarter, touchdown third quarter.
Remember when people said that Mariota and Jameis Winston was going to be the future of the NFL?
The XFL? Did you say
no? They said they're going to be the future of the NFL.
No, I thought you said XFL.
No, they're not even going to be the future of the XFL. No, they're not even gonna be there.
Look, I ain't gonna bash Mark Mariota like that. He might go to the XFL and kill Jameis.
What's the next? What's the next game?
Steelers and the Chargers. Chargers. We all
they disappointed us on that one, didn't they?
What was up with what's the name? Fight almost getting into a fight at the end of that game.
Who? Phillip Rivers trying to get
Phillip Rivers.
Like I put on Twitter.
Get mad.
And people call him fiery. No, he's stupid. They'll fuck you up. You need to stop. Like seriously, take your noodle arm, go sit down somewhere. You don't got it anymore. I mean, seriously.
They scored all their points in the fourth quarter. That's sad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
They're at home and didn't score until like the fourth quarter.
They made James Conner look like the second coming of fucking Emmitt Smith out there. With some of the runs that he was having, just breaking tackle after tackle. Phillip Rivers, 26 for 44, 320, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. And that's to the fucking Steelers defense. The Steelers secondary. Melvin Gordon. You held out. You wanted to get your contract,
I'm telling you, he came back because that backup running back was doing good. That's the only reason why he came back.
Yeah, and they need to sit his ass down because he had a good old 8 carries for 18 yards.
Yeah, 3 catches for 30.
Yeah, because I said that earlier this season. I said a running back's worst nightmare is when the backup is doing that damn good. That's the worst nightmare for a running back that holds out.
Hunter Henry, he's on my fantasy team, and I sat him. He had 8 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So overall, I think the Steelers found a really good backup. Snell is really good. 17 carries, 75 yards. He was making some really good runs in that game. Good vision, good power. Connor, they can still kind of split the carries with Connor and Snell, but I think they found something to kind of supplement the fact that they don't have a real quarterback right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hodges is pretty good, but he's still getting his bearings. He did make some good throws, though. Juju, you notice he's not up there. That's because he's a fraud and he's not a number 1 receiver. Next game, the Lions and the Packers. I have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, this game, yeah.
So
from what I heard, because I didn't really watch it.
I didn't watch it either, but I heard it was.
I'm just gonna tag y'all. I'm not gonna tag y'all in a whole lot. I'm just gonna tag y'all in a video of the last drive, because the last drive is all you need to see from this game. That's it.
Oh, wasn't it like the 2 calls that won?
They had 2 illegal hands to the face calls in which
that were really like hands to the
on
chest.
the collar. Yeah, he was on a collar, and what made it even worse was technically the offensive lineman could have been called for it. And then they had a catch that shouldn't have been a catch and a fumble that they called an incompletion.
And they call like a touchdown when the dude knee was down like 2.5 yards away.
Bro, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, I saw that. Like dude's knee was down like way before he broke the plane, and
they called a catch. They called a catch and a fumble. They called that a catch, and I'm sorry, they called a catch and a fumble and incompletion, which saved the Packers. Then the Packers got the ball back, and they made bullshit call on that last drive, and then Mason Crosby kicks a gimme, and they win 23-22.
Yeah, we talked about Jalen Ramsey getting traded earlier.
Yeah. I'll just read the stats off from this game. Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 39, 283, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. I told y'all about Williams. He's a really good running back. 14 carries for 104 yards. They definitely found something with him and Jones. I think Jones might be hurt. I don't even know who the fuck this receiver is. He had 4 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Lazard, I don't know what his name is. On the Lions side, the team that got hosed. 18 for 32, 265. That was Matt Stafford's stats. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but Kerryon Johnson, 13 carries for 34 yards. They definitely got to figure that out because he's supposed to be.
They should just give more carries.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that the Packers defense.
He only had 13 carries. I mean,
yeah, but 34 yards, bro. It's not even 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But Kerryon, I mean, we know Kerryon from the days in Auburn. He needs the ball like at least 20, 25 times.
True.
He's going to give you what you need. You just got to give him the ball.
And Kenny Galladay, big game, 5 catches, 121 yards. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say here other than the fact that these dudes got hosed.
Yeah, they did.
It. I mean, they these refs, man. Good God.
But who picked who?
So I picked the Lions, and yeah.
That was a you.
Everybody basically you got hosed.
So we did better than I thought. We got hosed by the Broncos. At least me and DJ did. The Cardinals, VF picked them. The Bengals, I can't even say I got hosed. I just picked stupid pick. Kirk Cousins spit in the face of DJ's pick. And pretty much all the ones that we were a unified front on, we got right. I mean, all the ones that we picked.
Oh, don't forget the Jets game.
Yeah, the Jets game. DJ called that one. So
I was flying high.
Yeah, it was definitely a good call. So not bad. We've been doing pretty good with the picks this year. Not really keeping a tally, but I mean, we pretty cool. Anybody that wants.
So let's jump to the topic about these Food Goals team. I mean, I think that's pretty much a good segue. Who's hot? Good segue. Who's hot, who's not, who you think is going to go far, who's going to be on their ass, and who's looking bad now, who's going to be good later. I think obviously Chiefs.
Well, let's just label this. Let's label this contenders and pretenders. Let me just make a list real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going. I don't have to go on many lists. I don't need many lists. I just got 2 teams. It's the Chiefs right now, and on the other side, I have. Hold on, I just had the team. Well, I would say the Vikings. Those like the only 2 teams, AFC and NFC teams that are just basically they look good now, but they're not going to go anywhere. That's just my 2 pick that are fool's gold. Y'all 2 can go anywhere else from there.
Yeah, because I'm looking right now. I already picked one in the NFC.
I agree with the Chiefs.
Something telling me that the Vikings aren't just not going to be as good as advertised. They're going to be a first round exit again.
I agree with the Vikings too. The contenders I'm going to pick, definitely the Seahawks. Definitely the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't see nothing fools about them. They're as good as advertised.
Definitely the Texans in the AFC.
Yeah, there's another team.
This may be a wild pick for me for contender, but Carolina, as long as they stick with that quarterback,
that could be a team. That could be a sleeper team. I can agree with that. That could be a sleeper team.
Carolina. I'm gonna put them sleeper. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, if Cam comes back, all bets are off. I have no faith in Cam.
Well, I'm gonna put the Niners as sleeper too. I did come on Facebook the other day and say that for real, but I'm gonna keep them in the sleeper for a couple more weeks. I'm gonna put the Niners in there. The Ravens are another sleeper team. I got to see more.
I think they are who they are. I don't think they're sleepers.
Are we up to nothing?
I'm gonna put them sleepers. And the Packers, I'm gonna put.
That's another team. They are who they are. I don't see nothing fraudulent about them. Either way,
Nationals already up to nothing.
Okay,
yeah, I headed to the chip, bro. I'm gonna put the. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm already calling shenanigans on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, shenanigans and fool's gold. That's one I can pick. Yeah,
because they flipped off 3 straight, and right now they're looking at Jason Garrett like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but to them it's more obvious. People can see that they're fool's gold. I just think the Vikings are more disguised than anything.
We're not really going with obvious teams, right? Because obviously the contenders, the Patriots are going there, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the teams who look like who they look, there's no reason to talk about them. Like you said,
hold on. Where y'all putting the Bears?
No, they're losers. I ain't got nothing to say about that.
Well, they just lost their defensive tackle for the season.
Yeah, so and they already don't have
to. They still have.
Well, yeah, because they're not. Yeah, they're kind of just looking like themselves anyway.
They still have Khalil, but
I'm trying to think. We miss anybody? No, that's it. Pretty much.
No, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's like I said, you had like 3 or 4 teams that actually look like something, and you have some teams that probably will surprise you, but for the most part. The majority of the teams,
paid.
Yeah, that's another.
I'm gonna put Buffalo in the sleepers.
Yeah.
So I think for contenders we got Seahawks, Texans, Panthers, Patriots. Pretenders we got Chiefs, Vikings, Cowboys. Sleepers we got Niners, Ravens, and Bills.
Yeah, like the entire AFC just looks like blah right now, though.
The entire AFC, you know what it is, and I'm gonna consider this a positive. I think it's parity.
Could be, but the teams are just bad. They're not beating up on each other.
I don't know if they're bad, though. I think
they are.
Part of what's making them look bad is the fact that these teams are just becoming a lot more evenly matched.
No, they're not beating up on each other. They're playing sloppy football. Outside of the Patriots, the Ravens, and who else on the AFC? Yeah, outside of the Patriots and the Ravens, and the Texans, everybody else is playing bad. They're not like a whole bunch of teams that looks good that are beating up on each other. These teams are terrible in the AFC.
That's true.
Yeah. It sucks, but
Chris Thomas, you think they should bench Jameis Winston? Who's his backup?
Yeah, who is the backup?
Shit. Well, let me look that up.
Well, the backup to Jameis Winston?
Yeah.
I was about to say Mike Glennon.
Oh, wow.
If only. That's how long it's been since I paid attention. I thought I was about to say Mike Glennon.
Blaine Gabbert.
Really?
Nationals have the bases loaded. They're about to blow the top off of this thing.
That might not be a bad idea. NA also puts out there. Have we seen Retro Bowl indie football?
Oh, no.
Up?
Real quick, Ryan Griffin is their backup.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Retro Bowl indie football scene is coming up. I don't know nothing about Retro Bowl.
I've heard of it. I think they put out a game prior to this one. I didn't play it, so
I'm kind of low key, kind of not putting any stock in any indie football game right now.
Oh, hold on, that brings up a point. DJ and VF, Chikara, that wrestling game we were looking out for is out on Steam right now. Arcade.
Okay. I'm about to look at that.
It's called Chikara Action Arcade Wrestling, available now on Steam. So I'll send this to you guys in the DM. There you go.
Okay, I'll look into that. But I just like the indie football games. Yeah, Axis, Maximum, whatever the hell Cal Anderson is doing. I mean, it's cool, but I'm just not putting any stock in any of them. If they come out, I'll give it a shot. I'll look at it.
This Retro Bowl game just kind of looks like Techno Bowl, basically.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it just looks like Techno Bowl.
Okay. Anything else y'all got with that? You want to talk about these Fortnite losers?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this.
All right, Fortnite went down. Fortnite went down. It was a black hole on the screen, basically saying that Fortnite is done. People started outraging. I saw one grown-ass man beating up his laptop because of it. I saw some kids throwing their controllers at TVs, breaking mommy's television. It's ridiculous how people reacted to that game. I don't think the game is all that good. It's just a bunch of shits and giggles for kids to play, but all is well because they have a season 2 now. Hopefully nobody's shit is going to be broken or nobody have to fake outrage no more. What do you guys thought about not necessarily Fortnite? It's just the power that's how games have on people for them to act like that.
It's scary.
It really is.
Yeah, that's too much power to have. And my thoughts were because there was mainstream video game news media sites that were live streaming that whole
that one little screen. Yeah.
So you had people literally sitting and watching it. Probably watched it the whole damn weekend, and it was.
Yeah. Lady Gaga 5 hours ago said, "What's Fortnite?"
You know what? I'm not even mad at her for that.
I'm not mad at her either.
And the way she spelled it was funny, but I'm not even mad at her for that because if you're a grown ass person, you really don't need to know about all that shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there are games like Fortnite that's catered to an older crowd that's actually pretty good. Like PUBG, you had the Call of Duty version of it. Like all these other battle royale games are actually fit for people our age, like people that are over the age of 16. But the thing is, you had grown ass men literally upset because of this whole situation, and I never seen anything like that. It's nuts. I never seen that. So my thing is, are we going to see more of this, like with other games, or you think Fortnite is the only game that will bring this type of attention to people to act out this way?
I think Fortnite would be the only one to bring this attention because they've done stuff like this. They didn't do like a whole black hole event or Horizon type thing.
Right.
But they've had full on concerts within the game. They've cross-referenced other mainstream platforms like the NFL. I think Resident Evil, actually, some characters appeared in Fortnite. I could be wrong.
And NFL players.
That's what I was saying. So to do it that way, and like I remember watching how it all, because basically in game while people were playing, there was a meteor that came down and struck the map, and basically it just, whoever was playing at the time, they all got sucked into it. Like it played out like that.
So people who were actually playing, they ended up getting sucked in by this black hole like that. Live,
right, and then that, as I believe as they were playing.
Wow,
which was kind of crazy. And the thing was, it was like, I don't know if it was without warning. I wonder if people knew that, something, because they're what was it, chapter, what do they call it, chapter 2 now, or chapter 6 or whatever it is. And then they were saying after it all happened, it was like hashtag RIP Fortnite, and I'm just like, the game ain't dead. It's been like this because it's a clever way to say we're under maintenance. We're probably going to put in a new map. Just hold tight. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened because there's a new map.
Chris Thomas and people are playing it. John Wick says they had. Chris Thomas said they had Batman and John Wick in the game. I had no idea.
Well, here's my thing.
And they had Stranger Things. I never knew this.
So my thing is, I don't know that we'll see this more, but the thing with Fortnite that is really making people go so crazy is, the first thing is it's free to play and they update the game without releasing another game, so it's already easy accessibility. Mm-hmm. The fact that they stay so up with pop culture and basically just listen to the fans, and that's how they update the game. That's why it's become such a phenomenon, to a point where people get addicted, because every day it's changing. It seems to never be outdated. Right. People love that. So because of that, it becomes their lives, and they kind of just live vicariously through it. And then, they're so programmed to that eventually they're like, it's almost like when the internet goes out.
This is almost like one of the positive things about having a live service game where it can keep up with the time, so people always stay engaged with the game instead of a game feeling outdated after a few months.
But yeah, the way they reacted is almost like when the power goes out, everybody's like, fuck, really?
Right.
Like, what do I do now? It's as if they go back to being cavemen. Well, fuck, what do I do? Read a fucking book. Write a song. Go take a shit. I don't care what you do. Find something to do without internet.
And play. Yeah.
Go outside and fuck. Fuck. It's like,
what the hell is outside?
If I didn't have a manager in a career, I would turn my fucking phone off for a day. But I can't. I just can't. You know what I'm saying?
Some days it's not actually a bad idea to do so, because some days I don't even touch my phone. Some days
it's solitude, which an introvert like me needs. Fucking solitude. I I talk to y'all more than I talk to anybody else outside of my fucking manager because I can't really I can't tolerate talking to many people, and I like fucking solitude. Now I like the internet being on so I can play my games, obviously, but I mean outside of that, it's like the cable goes out. I'm not sitting there twiddling my thumbs like, well, now what? It's like, fuck.
You know, the funny thing is, the power in our neighborhood went out. So I just stepped outside in the backyard, got some fresh air, and just relaxed a bit. I'm like, you know, being a child that was born, a guy that was born child. Well, I grew up as a child in the 80s and 90s. So it's just like, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have, you know, the video games the way they were. So, yeah. We're the last generation to really know what to do when shit goes down.
And here's another thing.
One thing NANA put out right here. He said if
damn, it's 7-0 already.
He said the gameplay like shit without and all those updates wouldn't matter. 60 frames per second, good hit detection, input lag. Yeah, he's right. The game is very well optimized for all consoles, even and on PC. Hell, even on mobile, is very well optimized. I watched my nephew play it, and I was like surprised how smooth that game was running. So that's another thing that keeps people around. I mean, not only that, the updates, the game actually plays pretty well.
Well, okay. That comment about good hit detection is a recent description of this game, because back when we started playing it for the small time we did, the hit detection wasn't good. So the thing is, the people that gave the game a try back when the hit detection wasn't good, they have the same perception of the game because the hit detection wasn't good.
Right.
So, you know, you had these fools jumping around a bunch of other arcadey shit, and they do what basically the internet people do that can't fight in real life. They build a fucking house and they run inside and hide. It's a personification of social media.
Right.
It's no different than walking outside. That's like if you're standing outside my house and I got smoke with you and I walk outside and call you a bitch and run back inside. That's what Fortnite is. But, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, people need to learn how to do shit other than, you know, live vicariously, not vicariously, but live and solely depend on the internet and their phones, because that's what the government wants you to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. You're right.
You said NA, you never had that issue? Really? You ain't never used one of those guns that weren't blue or green, one of the normal ass guns, and
I never played it.
Was fucking off. Hit detection was awful.
Yeah, I never played it. I just watched my nephew played it. I have no idea what the game is really, how it runs. Or whatever.
I mean, it's fun, but you get to the point where, like I said, you're shooting at somebody and they start building. So it's like, it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
They be building towers and shit.
It's bullshit. I mean, if you're wrestling somebody and you're in an actual amateur wrestling competition and they go out of bounds, that's a fucking penalty. You get rewarded for building a fucking tower of protection in Fortnite. So that just gives you an idea what kind of game it is.
Right.
But I'm still mad that people actually use jumping as a strategy to dodge bullets.
Like it's Call of Duty. They started doing this shit in Call of Duty too.
They've been doing jumping in Call of Duty for like years,
and drop shotting and all that bullshit. I mean, it's a fucking, like I said, it's not the game, it's the people that play it. I have no issue with the game. The idea of it is pretty fun, but the people who play it are just, they're losers. But anyway, well, not all of them, but just the good portion that you run into when you're playing it. It's just
yeah. Anything else y'all got with this topic? I just thought it was interesting how people reacted to the end of the season.
Yeah, they take it too seriously, man. I feel like their life was over. I'm like, bros, go outside. I mean, a lot of y'all are adults. If you have a car, fucking drive around, take a drive. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I'm really just surprised how they thought that a game that popular would just end like it was like a cliffhanger.
Well,
like
it was, you know what
was that one HBO. Oh, go ahead.
You know what they should have did? I just thought about this. If they really wanted to troll people, they should have kicked their ass back out to the dashboard.
Oh man, that would have been terrible.
That would have been fucking classic.
Like, thank you for
trying to load the game. He kicks me back to the dashboard.
No, they should have been like, thank you for playing. I know you spent all that money and getting all your stuff, but we had to take that all back. You're gonna like if we decide to come back, you'll be starting back from zero again.
Just kick him back to the fucking dashboard. Anybody who believes the game was just over, like, come on, man, stop.
Yeah, that would have been.
Well, I have an update. Nationals up 7-0, and they just ended the first inning. So
yeah, it sounds like what happened with the Braves.
Yeah, we're actually hail NL East.
All right, breaking news. I don't know how true this is. GTA 6 will reportedly take place in South Florida. There will be hurricane, swamp missions, 3 different eras, small islands, and much more.
I can see that.
I don't know how. It's just
that would have to be a next gen launch.
Yeah,
I can't see how that would work on a PS4.
Yeah, it's one of these typical Facebook
Xbox
posts that you see.
If it's a Facebook post, I don't believe it. But I can see it being, I can see it being set in Vice City. I can see that, but I'm not taking a Facebook post. I'm not. You're better off, writing that shit on OS, like Joe Montana.
Or the fact that Live's coming out in the third quarter.
Oh, that was another thing. I don't know why people are still using old ass information to try to confirm that Live 20 is still coming out.
I got a question about. I'm gonna pile on to that. NBA Live Mobile is getting a lot of attention and still getting a lot of support. So.
Yeah, like when Live 17 didn't come out.
But I'm just saying, like, do you think it's viable for them? They're probably just going to continue to push the mobile aspect, because you don't hear nothing about the console side of it at all. I mean, they'll still keep the NBA license. It'll be under EA umbrella, but it just won't be on consoles. It looks like it's going to be like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep it as a mobile game. I mean, they're actually making profit off of it, and if they keep supporting it, that means something's being done on a positive side for them. You might just look at it being a mobile game and a mobile game only.
The NBA Live mobile game looks like the basketball game that Sony put out on PS3.
Yeah, the NBA shootout game.
NBA 09, the life, or whatever it was called.
But you know what was funny? The fact that at one point when that Live mobile first came out, we thought that actually played better than Live.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that.
So yeah, and again they're going with the excuse we're going to go with a different approach. I'm like, that's the same as what you said before you canceled Live 17. So, and then the information that people are using, people stopped. That was from a quarterly report.
What's the
published
question?
on May 7th, 2019, May 7th. So.
What's the question that NA had?
He said, doesn't maximum kick you to the dashboard sometimes?
I haven't had that.
I heard that was a bug. I don't know if they fixed that or not.
It probably was a post first patch deal, but I never had that issue.
I'm still mad they use that highlight that people make fun of Madden when it happens there.
Right.
To showcase their
kick
physics.
Yeah, show that fucked up.
But to ignore that, look at the blocking on that return. If we want to go back to that, I saw that as a good thing.
Yeah,
you don't see that type of blocking on that, and it's like special teams gets no love.
You get no help on special teams in Madden. It's about as bad on 2K as well.
It's like people always come. It's like always two people in your face.
Yep.
The way the kickoff return. You know what? Never mind. I've been screaming. I've been saying this for like the last 6 years.
You said about a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, but
I went back. I actually
based on that.
I actually went back and played Madden 20 the other day. I don't know, man. Game's not bad. It's just I did not have a bit of fun playing that game.
I'm just waiting for NBA 2K to have to post the injuries on their roster. But even so, I think I'm probably just gonna go ahead and play. There was a person who posted a roster with injuries. I actually had to update a couple of injuries, namely IT with that I think, a broken thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably use this other person's roster because they've also updated the tendencies. And then was the guy goes by Pete Toole? Mm-hmm. He's also noted a lot. Bills, you've been the main one I've been listening to as far as like the roster and the tendency inaccuracies and stuff like that. But he's another one that tweets about these, first of all, positional inaccuracies and also the player tendency inaccuracies. So
definitely,
it's just what is this guy doing when they're saying that they update the roster pretty much like they don't do major updates, but there's like little minor updates every single day or whatever. But it's just like, what are you really doing that these tendencies are inaccurate and have been inaccurate for quite some time
and
to start the season?
And he's so far off that it's almost like it's not even shit that he just might have overlooked. It's like, no, it's you go to every player on every team, even if you just focus on the superstars. I mean, come on. It's like, it's ridiculous.
I'm just thinking to myself, why don't you finish off with the tendencies they ended off with when the season ended last year?
Or why don't you
based on last year's tendencies?
Or if this dude is so inept, get more than one person.
Yeah, because it's just like it's almost like they reset them back to their default tendencies, and then it's just like, oh, here we go again. We're back to the preseason tendencies, and then as the season goes on, oh no, we realize what their tendencies are now. We got superstars that have been playing for like 7-8 years are going to be set by now. You don't have to reset them. If they've changed certain things, that's what they're going to do from here on out. They're not going to go back to old tendencies just to build back up to the new tendency.
They had Ben Simmons taking jump shots last year. This year, he doesn't take them. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, it's like you haven't been watching. Like, he just hit a pull-up jump shot, which, by the way, looked very good. I mean, his jump shot is definitely – I won't even say it's improved. Obviously, it's improved, but he has more confidence. I mean, we've seen him take these shots in pickup games. I just think he has more confidence now, but we'll see when the roster update comes out for the first week. Is that in there?
I think this is one bad thing about 2K just releasing way too early. I mean, the game's been out for a while now, and for basketball,
that's another biggie right there.
Yeah,
they released it early, and they they slit their own wrists when they do that because
and then the game you can obviously tell that there was something about the game that just was not finished because I mean they had a lot of problems with the game coming out. So it's like I don't know, maybe I have to step back and just let the game come out when it usually does. I mean, it's kind of crazy when the game come out in the beginning of September like that.
Especially with live messing up the way it is, you don't have to release it in September. You can just
the thing was, I think they
October and just have it that way.
I think the thing was they actually thought the game was actually going to come out. That's why they did that.
Oh, by the way, I had to bring this up. What's his name? Rome Rush. Listener to the podcast, he put out screenshots before of the Metacritic scores of Madden 20 and NBA 2K20. Y'all see this?
Yeah, I see it all the time. It's always very low.
0.7 for 2K.
It's always like that. And it's not because of simulation. Trust me. It all has to do with that microtransaction bullshit. It has nothing to do with the quality of the game. That's why I never pay attention to it.
It's online gamers. No, it's online gamers. 0.7.
That's a part of it too.
693 user ratings. 0.7. That's not microtransactions. That's these losers being mad because
go read some of the reviews. A lot of it has to do with that the stuff that the slot machine type mechanics. It's not because they're not good online. I'm telling you, these are the people who listen to Young and Jim Sterling and what's the other guy? I can't remember. They listen to those guys and because of the fact that they hear about these microtransactions, they go and run the Metacritic and downplay the game. It's not because a bunch of online gamers are mad. They're a part of it. I can rest assured that, but it's because
they are a part of it.
Yeah, but there's a cult out there that's behind this. Ever since that that Star Wars thing, it's like a cult behind it, and they'll downplay anything that has microtransactions in it or loot boxes, That's where all those low scores. You see it on Steam all the time. Go to Steam right now and look at NBA 2K20. They're not online gamers over there that's downplaying the game. Most of those guys don't even play the game like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not because of them online gamers. I mean, they find a way. Yeah, them online gamers, they found a way to exploit the game. They'll be mad for a minute, and 2 days later they'll find an exploit and they'll be happy again. They're just mad it's taking longer than usual.
Well, I'm having fun playing with that WNBA right now. I got back.
Yeah,
I worked on my sliders with them too.
Yeah, I'm hearing the play calling on the WNBA side is a lot smoother than it is for the NBA side.
It's kind of interesting because I ran the freelance sets with I ran NBA freelance sets with them. What I find with the WNBA, it just like once you make a different slider set, it feels so much different. And not being able to just go in and get some contact dunk animation. And also, another thing, sliders. So I tinkered with the movement sliders just a little bit. I wanted to make the explosive perimeter plays just a little bit more explosive. So I put the acceleration with ball all the way up to 100 for the maximum. So the faster players are faster off the dribble. And then I made the slower players a little bit slower without the ball. But what I also did was I made the defenders on the CPU side a bit quicker. So I put the lateral quickness up a little bit so it balances it out. It's been playing really well. You still feel the explosion off the dribble, but, the CPU has a chance to stand in front of you. And you really feel it in WNBA because, a lot of them aren't as agile. But when you get somebody like Skylar Diggins, you can really kind of feel it.
All right.
Oh, let me direct something to the chat. Hey, we need some questions.
Yes,
because we're
the reason why we're rambling on is because you guys haven't presented any. Well, some of you guys have, but we need more questions. We're trying to make this. This is what Tuesday is all about: is more interaction with you guys. We appreciate that you guys are here, but
we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done.
We're just kind of dicking around at this point.
We're just waiting for you guys to say something, so it's all good.
Well,
I'm sitting here flipping back and forth between the debate and the Nationals.
I'm actually playing right now. I'm actually playing NCAA 14, and I'm number 1 in the country, and I'm losing. I'm not losing, but I'm down by 3 to unranked Tennessee right now. It's a very intense game in the third quarter.
Oh, Houston take the lead.
Okay, here we go. We got a question. Have y'all seen the new PBA bowling game?
I heard of it and I was a bit interested, and honestly, I probably will end up getting it when it gets.
I'm gonna tell you something. Like bowling games are actually something that nobody talks about, and they're sorely missed in the video game realm because they're actually pretty fun to play.
I will say that. I will say this though. It kind of pisses me off because I want a Pure Pool 2.
Yeah, that's another.
I definitely.
There's a bowling game that came out. There's a bowling game that came out on PS3. I bought it. I can't remember. I probably have to look in my download list and I'll find it. But it's a really good bowling. It had a lot of good free DLC, a lot of good stuff in it. But nobody really talked about it. It wasn't necessarily a sim bowling game, but it was a good one.
You know what? I'm gonna reverse this. I got a question for the chat. Since y'all ain't asking questions, I got a question for y'all. What games are y'all playing right now? Like, what's in y'all's rotation right now? I want to see the responses.
What most people in the sim community is playing right now.
But I tell you what, guess what game I went back to play last night?
What?
Drive Club.
Yo, that game is still phenomenal. Yo, I got my wheel set up because I don't know if y'all seen it. I got my wheel set up, but I was playing GT Sport the last couple of days, and I put a clip of me driving, but I went back to play Drive Club too. Yo, that game is still nice, man. It's unfortunate. It got a lot of support, but it's unfortunate you don't get another game because that's a really good game. My only problem, the AI is not the best, but it's still
and at this point, the servers are done, have been killed off for a while now, so you're not going to be able to do any multiplayer, I guess, unless it's like local. Right. But still, you still have the ghost that you can go up against. So it's just like, I know yesterday I was on this one course and I actually beat both my ghost cars and I beat somebody else by like 2 seconds. So your time still progresses you up like the time leaderboards and stuff like that. So that still goes on, but it's gonna be purely you versus the AI at this point.
Right. No, I got all the DLC for that game. I purchased all the DLC like prior to the servers going down, so I got all the cards and everything. I mean, it's still in my download list, or if I want to actually download it or play it, so I still got those. But yeah, absolutely. If you get the game, I still recommend it. I enjoy the game still. I mean, I'm a big racing fan. You know, I'm a still racing games fan. I got so many racing games, is ridiculous, but I love playing with my racing wheel and stuff. I find it very enjoyable. But no, I'm with you right there, DJ. Great, still a good game.
Especially with the weather effects. Still to this day, probably like the one game that the weather effects, the dynamic weather, lighting, all that. Especially when you're sitting in the driver's seat.
What's his name?
The fact that the rain, the way it runs off, the physics of that, it seems like it does take a lot to render that, and I don't see another games even topping that. I think other games recently have come close, but
I also there was a patch for Gran Turismo Sport to have dynamic weather like that, but I haven't used it yet. I haven't tried it, so I don't know what it is. But
I know Chris.
No, I was saying.
I was about to say Chris Thomas just put in his rotation.
Yeah, I was about to get to his. NA say he's playing Transformers on his backlog, and you also have Chris Thomas say he's playing Destiny's 2, Jump Force, Madden 20, Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, which is a very good game. And he can't
actually watched because obviously I'm not gonna have access to those games, but the Castlevania storyline, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, I watch a lot of playthroughs, just like the ones I think are the good stories. Like I'll go back and watch the Siphon Filter. I'll go back and watch like the Metal Gear storylines. At this point, I've gone in and gone through a lot of like all the game storylines from the different games that have come out. And it's like, God, I miss that time in gaming when you had all these good games with these storylines that, one, I didn't get a chance to play, and two, the ones I did play did get a chance to finish, including some of the games I did actually play and finish.
I mean, like I'm a big fan of Castlevania. I've been playing Castlevania since the 80s, so I've been a big fan of it. I mean, I played pretty much all the mainstream ones. I haven't played none of the GBA versions, but I'm a big fan of Castlevania. But
matter of fact, speaking of Castlevania, they said that there was a meme on Twitter where he had the guy walking on the treadmill. And he had that walk like he was Simon Belmont. He's walking on the treadmill.
I still need to finish Rondo of Blood. That game is amazing. I'm still stuck on stage 5. I've been stuck on stage 5 for a long time. That game is another good game that I love to play.
Oh, and also to go back on Castlevania, if you guys haven't watched the animated series on Netflix.
Netflix.
That is damn good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that is very damn good. It's gory as hell, but hey, it's Castlevania.
NA said he thought about downloading the Shenmue games through Game Pass. I don't see why not. It's a very
I played the first Shenmue.
Yeah, the pacing of the game is very methodical, but it's worth a good playthrough. It takes time, but I played 1 and 2 on Dreamcast. I haven't beat the one on original Xbox. It's probably one of the reasons why it took so long for me to even get into the ones on Xbox One, because I don't count the ones on PlayStation. I don't think Shenmue should be on PlayStation personally, but that's another story for another day.
But ain't nobody playing Carrier?
No, I heard nobody play that.
Damn.
Ain't nobody playing Ghost Recon either, apparently.
Well, there's a reason for that. Just like what I was saying, man, those loot boxes, man. People don't. Yo, I'm telling you, people are getting tired of that shit, man. People don't want to realize that shit, but people are getting tired of those loot boxes and
I'm just trying to figure out why, like when it comes to when these games their first rendition of it doesn't have the loot boxes and stuff like that. It's just like, who are they listening to, or who are they trying to cater to when they switch their stuff up to these loot boxes because
they're not catering to anybody.
Was not meant to have loot boxes. It was a tactical shooter.
They're not catering to anybody. They just want people who have money in their pockets to give it to them.
I'm just looking at it like this. How much money did they make off of Wildlands, and how much did they think they were going to make off of Breakpoint by one taking out the AI squad members and making it more like a solo survival unless you had other human players that you were playing with, and then putting loot boxes in the game.
Right. I'm telling you, man, that's the same thing they did with Call of Duty. Call of Duty was cool and all that.
They took the loot boxes out for now.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the other one.
But Call of Duty said there was never any.
Talking about Black Ops 4. They did the same thing. They waited for the game to be out, and then they put the loot boxes back in. They know what they're doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know how to get around that stuff. But some people really want to have a fair play field, and
well, see, the developers said there were never any plans for loot boxes in Modern Warfare, and I actually tend to believe them. A lot of people put that shit out just to get somebody on their side, and they just want to attack a game before it even comes out. And I don't believe that they had any plans to do it because everything else that they've done so far with the game is kind of going back to the grassroots. So I don't believe for a second that's what they plan.
All right, here's another one. I'm pretty sure DJ can answer this one. He want to know if we played the new Ace Combat. DJ, you've played the new Ace Combat, right?
Yeah, I definitely like it. And I need to get back into it. It's just I have gaming ADD, and with the large library that I do own, I'm awfully going back and forth. But I definitely want to get back into it because I've always liked and I know it's like an arcade based flight. Now, I wouldn't call it a flight simulator. It's like an arcade based air combat game. But in the past, when I had like these old ass computers, like the Tandy 1000 and Gateway before that, I had games like F-15 Strike Eagle 2, F-19, which is based on F-19 Stealth Fighter. I remember playing the Chuck Yeager game.
Yeah, man, you taking it way back, bro.
Before that.
Yeah, my uncle, he had a computer like that, like the old 486s and stuff. He used to play stuff like that. So you taking it back? Yeah,
because right now you can play like the updated flight simulator, but before then it's like these games. You know how we talk about we miss the days of having instruction manuals. Well, with F-15 Strike Eagle 2 and with F-19, you had a booklet on how.
Yeah.
It was like you learned the controls, but then it was like it taught you techniques, dogfighting techniques. That's why, like, if you see clips of me playing like No Man's Sky, I actually use these same techniques. Like when there's an enemy behind me, I find a way to like the lift, break, so they speed under me, and I come down and I can shoot them that way. Or I use the whole passing. They show you exactly how it's done. Like when planes are head on, they fire their shots and then they fade away. It's like fire and fade, and then you circle around. That's how like dogfights tend to happen. So a lot of the stuff that I do on No Man's Sky is from that time period. I was 8 years old doing this shit on the computer. So
all right. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like that Ghost Recon stuff, and like these games nowadays, man, people are tired of that shit. Like, and I think some companies starting to realize that shit, man. Like, people are getting tired of hearing about all these loot boxes and pay to win stuff. It gets old after a while. I mean, people don't want to play.
I can't wait till they make that shit illegal here in the States.
Yeah, people get tired of like that. They don't want to
because you are exposing it to kids.
Yeah. You don't want games that be, people buy a whole bunch of shit and then all of a sudden they're, super character in the game after 3 minutes of playing. People want to have a fair playing field. It's getting old.
I just look at it like this. I'm like, you're not gonna get video games for causing actual violence, but you're gonna get video games for causing gambling addictions. That's for sure.
Right. Now, what's going on, Doug Thomas? How you doing? He just came in and got off of work.
Did you say Duck Thomas or
no,
Doug?
I said Doug Thomas.
It sounded like you said Duck Thomas or what?
Oh, no, he said something about Duck Hunt. I don't know what he meant by that, but.
Well, no, because NA just also said Top Gun.
So Top
like
Gun?
The retro games. I remember playing Duck Hunt, Top Gun. Anybody remember playing Gyromite?
Yeah, I remember playing Gyromite.
With the robot?
With Rob the Robot.
Yeah.
Rob the Robot. I remember that. But yeah, man, y'all got any other questions, man? I mean, we're gonna.
Well, I'll wait for Noble and Doug Thomas to get settled in before we I want to talk about this bandwagon thing since let's wait for him to get.
All right, cool.
So I was having a discussion with my boy the other day. And we'll get to that in a second, Young Noble.
Karate champ.
But yeah, so I was having a discussion with my boy the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that there are any Patriots fans that aren't bandwagon fans. And it's like, for me, a lot of people knock bandwagon fans. And Doug Thomas, we touched on it. We didn't really talk about it too much, but we touched on it.
We talked about pretty much everything football. We talked about it earlier.
We'll probably get it.
Yeah, the Cowboys suck. That's all you need to know.
But yeah, so my thing with bandwagon fans, a lot of people hate bandwagon fans. I don't get why. I don't know why they try to police who people cheer for. That's just me. But I think that a lot of these teams that are the popular teams wouldn't be popular teams without bandwagon fans.
Well, I mean, you
have to have bandwagon fans, because if not, then how the fuck do you get fans? They're hopping.
You got to understand, like the Chicago Bulls. I mean, they were popular not just because of the city of Chicago.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys, another one. I mean, you're gonna have these.
That was media generated.
No, it was partially media, but remember, they just plain sucked, and nobody cheered for them because they sucked. And then they got good, and everybody cheered for them.
Well, you got to also think about.
Yeah, but wait a minute. They actually were good in the 70s. They just went under during the 80s.
That's what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about they sucked. And even back then, yes, the media generated.
This is what I'm saying. Like most teams that we're talking about, bandwagon fans, you're talking about a team that actually had a lot of success in their day.
Well, not necessarily, because think about this. Now the teams that they talk about with bandwagon fans are the ones that didn't. The ones that have, in this era, come to prominence, and people are mad that they're getting fans, like the Warriors. Oh, there's so many Warriors bandwagon. What the fuck do you expect?
Well, I mean, like I said,
shown on TV.
You got to think about the cycle of what I'm talking about. Like, look at the teams that do have quote unquote bandwagon fans. The Cowboys, we just said they've been good since the 70s. They had their moment in the 70s. You talk about other bandwagons, like the Patriots. They've been good since the early 2000s. You talk about the Bulls. They was good in the early to mid 90s. You're talking about a lot of teams that actually had success at one time. You're not going to see like a lot of bandwagon, let's say, for instance, Cardinals fans, or bandwagon Dolphins fans, or bandwagon Ravens fans.
But here's the thing, though. Here's my thing. Doug Thomas said, I think people get pissed about the bandwagon fans because they don't go through growing pains like the diehard fans. So here's my thing. If you're a fan who voluntarily puts yourself through misery, I don't respect that. Because what they do is they say, well, I've been cheering for the Milwaukee Bucks. Who gives a fuck? They suck. You continue to put yourself through this misery. You haven't seen them win in your lifetime, and you bash somebody who says, hey, I just want to enjoy sports and cheer for the winning team. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you see people signing up to watch Tito Ortiz fights right now? Or the boxer that lost 3 straight? Do you see them say, yeah, sign me up, I'll go to that fight? No, that's not how it works. People watch sports for entertainment, and they watch sports to be not just to be entertained, but because they want some type of genuine emotion out of it. They don't want to go to bed sad and fucking mad all the time. So these bandwagon fans who just happen to watch sports from an objective position, and they say, I'm starting to like this team. I watch them on TV. They're really the only team that gets shown on TV nationally, and I'm starting to like them. How can we knock those people that don't go through these pains and put themselves through all this misery, and then they wear it like a fucking badge of honor? Why are you wearing misery like a badge of honor?
I mean, some people are the diehard fans do that.
But that's what I'm saying. The diehard fans are some of the dumbest ones, because they're the same people that are sitting outside fucking, oh yeah, the organization was really smart. And, they got rid of this guy. No, they weren't. Those are the same people that take the side of the organization 9 out of 10 times, or the diehard fans who are stupid. And they're completely unobjective. They have the dumbest opinions ever about the teams. They don't watch the other teams in the league, so then they end up saying dumb shit about the teams when it's time to play them. Oh, well, Dalvin Cook sucks. Saquon Barkley, he's fucking slow. You're like, yeah, okay, you're a diehard fan. And then they're like, oh, well, you're probably a fan of, and then they'll pick the most popular team. It's like, so here's my thing, Pooh. I'm glad you asked that. I'm a fan of the sport. I'll be the first to admit when Tom Brady retires, I'm not going to be a Patriots fan. Why? Because they give me no reason to. I'm not going to be a Patriots fan when they do things deliberately before the season to lose themselves Super Bowls. They spit in the face of the fans. They convince them that we don't need a player because they don't feel like paying them. It's like that with all Boston teams. And Tom Brady was the person who gave me a reason to not only watch football, but cheer for the Patriots. Once he retires, my fandom goes with it. I will watch them from a distance. I will not claim them as my team. If they start playing well again, yes, I will happily hop in the bandwagon and say, yeah, but I'm not going to pretend like I was cheering the whole time. I'm openly right now saying I'm going to do that.
Why? I can totally understand that because, like, with my team, with the Falcons, I mean, I don't root for bullshit. I never have. I don't see. I can understand how people why they do it. And they always get upset. Or like if the team isn't good, my main thing is they need to fix that shit. I'm not going to damage control none of that.
Sports and relationships are the only two things in life where people wear misery like a fucking badge of honor.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Well, I've been a fan. I haven't seen him win, but shut the fuck up. You're wearing misery as a badge of honor. You start going through all their shortcomings, and you sound like somebody who's suffering from Stockholm syndrome.
And it goes back to, like, it also says, like what Doug Thomas says. He said he can't see myself not rooting for the Raiders. I can see myself
I understand that.
I can see myself not rooting for the Falcons as well. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and just be like that dog in the bar with everything's on fire saying this is fine. No, right now, they need to do something with the Falcons. The shit's fucked up right now.
But you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So it's like Freddie G says, I'm a diehard Falcons fan, even though I get burned every year. Bills folks lose money on teams again. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you are betting on a team, that's your first mistake. You're betting on American sports, the most rigged institution of entertainment. There's something wrong right there. I would never bet on a Patriots game. Imagine if I bet on that Ravens game where they got fucking blown out. Because so Pooh says you can be a fan of a sport and still be that, though, is where I'm gonna where I want to get at. I mean, hell, I still root for the Packers or the Raiders because I want to see them. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not knocking all diehard fans. What I'm saying is the diehard fans shouldn't be coming at the bandwagon fans because they're A, casual fans of the sport, or B, don't want to wear misery as a fucking badge of honor. It's like I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, shit, I've been a fan of Appalachian State since 1972. Who gives a fuck? What if they won? You're wearing it like a badge of honor. Every year you watch them fucking go 5-12, and you're like,
college is different. If you went to the school, now
if you went to the school, okay,
that's a different issue.
If you played for the team in the pros, yes, fine. But what I'm saying is, wearing misery as a badge of honor makes you look really dumb. That's like, I'm a fan of the Heat. I'm not going to wear this last 5 years as a fucking badge of honor. I'm not going to say I've stuck with the Heat for the last 5 years and look what they've given me, because I'm going to look like an idiot. I'm going to look like I have Stockholm syndrome. People ask me why I didn't post about the Heat last year. What the fuck am I supposed to say? We lost again. We're mediocre. What do you want me to post? I mean, he said, Bills, you almost guarantee money if you bet on the Patriots. Yeah, but you don't have to bet on sports to watch sports. So the people losing money on these games are more into betting than watching sports. That's my point. So it's like I can see it from both sides. I can see the people who don't like the front-running fans, but the only front-running fans I have an issue with are the ones who pretend not to be front-running fans. If you come out and say you're a front-running fan, I respect that. Don't act like you were a Golden State fan in 2007, because I'm going to quiz you. And I'm going to say, do you remember when Kalena Azubuike was there? And if you say who, I'm going to say you're a fucking liar because you don't remember who it was. If I ask you who Run TMC was and you say, do you mean Run DMC? I'm going to smack you in the face and tell you you're a liar, because that's what I'm saying. It's like the people that they come at aren't even claiming to be diehard fan, like, oh, you follow LeBron to every team. There are plenty of people that follow their favorite player. What's wrong with that? Plenty of Bulls fans became Wizards fans. Is there an issue with that? If they're just a fan of the player? I mean, I hate people who try to police how folks are fans of sports. I don't like how they police. Sports are about entertainment and enjoyment. So just because you want to be miserable.
I mean, Pooh put up another good point. He said, or don't act like you were a Seahawks fan before Pete Carroll. Like nobody knows.
My cousin was.
Like who the fuck? Like who the hell? You know who Rick Murray and Joey Galloway was?
Well, my cousin was. I will admit that. My cousin is a diehard Seahawks fan.
Shoot, I can go back farther than that. Anybody remember who Jim Zorn was?
Right.
So, and that's the thing. So it's like with y'all, I respect y'all because y'all are, I guess you can call yourselves diehard fans, but really you're not diehard fans because you don't die hard. You see bullshit and you say this is bullshit. Diehard fans go down with the ship and they admit, everything's fine. The house is just fucking on fire. I'm fine.
You know what? I used to be a diehard fan, but God damn it, I jumped on Twitter and I seen all this bullshit. It was just like,
and enough is enough. I used to be a diehard Patriots fan, and then I said, well, wait a minute. Jamie Collins wasn't this, and that y'all were saying. Wait a minute. Malcolm Butler didn't get in trouble with the team during the week. Wait a minute. Tom Brady's not getting enough credit. Wait a minute. And I started seeing these things, and I'm like, no, I can't be one of them. I don't want to be one of them. So I get it.
It's only one team that I rock for unconditionally, and y'all already know what it is. The school I went to. Win, lose, or draw. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna bat for them all the time. I mean, I got my degree from there. I mean, that's my school. But all these other teams are like, look, if Atlanta ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, I mean, fuck.
Let me ask you a question.
Wait a minute, I gotta say something about spec. No, it's not the Redskins that caused me not to be a diehard fan. It's the fans themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm like, half of them are Trump supporters just to start, and then the other part is that they tend to side with the organization, not necessarily the players. And it's like that slave owner mentality amongst the fan base. And it's kind of like, well, damn, half you Trump supporters, you engage in this slave owner mentality as far as not giving a fuck about the players. No wonder our organization is what it is, because our owner from the get-go has instituted this slave-like mentality.
Well, and Freddie G said it. See, when my team is losing, I lose interest in my team, but I consistently watch basketball and football. I love the sports too much. So that's my thing. And I kind of gave y'all a history of this. When I was a kid, we didn't have all of these channels like, NBA TV. I had NBC, I had TNT. Those are the channels that were showing basketball. So I was a fan of the teams that were coming on. That means Philly, that means Milwaukee, any Eastern Conference team, you just name them. Western Conference team. I was a fan of all those teams because I watched so much basketball. That's what I did as a kid. I didn't watch cartoons. I watched sports. I listened to music. Those are my two things. So you're wondering why I have this kind of opinion of sports. That's why, because I never fell in love with one team. My parents didn't sit me in front of the screen and say, you're only going to watch the Celtics. No. I mean, I was a huge Michael Jordan fan growing up. He didn't play for the Celtics. I was a huge Kobe Bryant fan growing up. They were on the rival team. So it's like, yes, of course, the teams when I was little, yeah, they were bad. But at the same time, I watched them and I just didn't take a liking to the tradition that people were trying to force upon me outside of my household. And that's another reason why I don't want to fit into that mode of, well, and that's another thing they say, well, you've never been to Miami, so why are you a Miami Heat fan? What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
There's plenty of Bostonians who don't have enough money to go to a Celtics game. Are they not Celtics fans?
You know, it's funny. People are saying that to me about the fact that I like the Florida State Seminoles.
It's crazy. It's fucking insane.
Like,
no.
And it's just like, they're like asking me, why don't you like the Maryland Terps? I'm like, do you realize who the Maryland Terrapins were when I grew up?
Yeah. So it's like,
nobody wanted to go to that school. So it was like,
yeah.
I'm like, we were like, people like players in Maryland were getting recruited and sent to Penn State before they would go to the University of Maryland at one point. So I'm like, I could have gone with Penn State, but I like Florida State. I like the Native American aspect, the theme, and they were doing very well. And at that age, I wasn't looking so much at how they were doing win losses wise. I was just like, okay, I like those colors. I like the Native American theme. I'm rocking with this team.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like when it comes down to it, these teams that I took a liking to, they just happen to be, it was associated with my favorite players because as a kid, I liked Iverson and I grew out of that. I liked T-Mac. I grew out of that. I like Kobe. He changed his ways. So that's where it came from. I was never pigeonholed into those are the only teams that, you can watch because I didn't believe in that. My parents didn't believe in that. I watched so much sports. It was impossible for me to just be a fan of one team. And I also will say this. If you are more a fan of your team than the sport, then there's already an issue with you.
Now, I do see that Freddie G mentioned with Maryland, University of Maryland, Chris Wilcox and Juan Dixon. And yeah, that was the basketball squad, but I was a Georgetown fan because I was born in DC. So my whole thing was more DMV squads. That's why you don't really see me root for the Ravens because I'm a Washington Redskins fan. I grew up when they were in DC. They moved out to Maryland. They shouldn't be there. Should be back in DC.
Right.
What was another team? I used to like the Baltimore Orioles because there wasn't a baseball team in Washington, D.C. And when the Expos in 2005 moved to D.C., and at the point, I hated Peter Angelos for what he did to Mike Messina and how he's ruined that team ever since. I was a Washington Nationals fan. So the day they came here.
And then I'll give you a couple examples. People call me I'm a very unconventional fan because like people say, well, you like the Jets to a certain extent. Yes, I do. Because one day I watched the Jets play when they weren't playing the Patriots, and I said, well, this team's not so fucking bad. I'm a kid. This is what I see. I'm like, fuck, I like the colors. I like Wayne Corbett. Mm-hmm. I like Chad Pennington. He's scrappy. Curtis Martin's a damn good running back. This is what I see as a kid. So when I grow up, I don't grow out of these things because then you watch them every week and you fall in love with the team. So that's what happened. Just like the Yankees, everybody told me to hate the Yankees. And trust me, I hated the fucking Yankees. Okay.
Oh, I can tell you about that incident back in the 90s. ALCS.
Hated the fucking
Yankees. I still want to smack that guy,
dude.
He was a kid then, but it's still on site.
I fucking hated the Yankees. And the thing was, the Red Sox were never really good enough to make it as far as they made it in 2003. So I never could hate the Yankees as much as I probably should have hated the Yankees compared to others my age or definitely older than me. But fuck, when 2003 came and Aaron Boone hit that home run, that was the peak of my fucking hate. I was like, now I get what everybody was telling me and fuck them and blah, 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 blah. And then a couple years went by and I said, why do I still hate them? We've won more rings than them in this decade. I mean, it's to the point now. It's like I'm kind of just hating them because people tell me to hate them. So once again, I watched them one night and I realized how many players I liked on their team and I kind of couldn't hate them anymore. And then also I realized how much people hate teams that are good because they just hate success. And then I was like, well, fuck, this makes me like them even more because everybody's kind of cheering against them. So it's like, there's a combination of things that goes into it. It's like people hate the Yankees because it's like they claim there's so many bandwagon fans, but then everybody really cheers against them if you think about it, to the point where they turn into underdogs. So
and Freddie G just put up, I actually like the Panthers because of the colors, even though that's ATL's rival. I used to love the Redskins because of Champ, Portis, Moss,
you already know
Sean Taylor, fun players to watch. Man, that was a fun time, and and Joe Gibbs was coaching. Oh, that was a fun time. It was like Joe Gibbs' second run as the Redskins coach. That was a fun time. We had, let me see, who we have at quarterback at that time because we went through a couple, but we were kind of, I think Jason Campbell kind of came in the middle of that Joe Gibbs second run.
I think it was Jason Campbell.
But yeah, Clinton Portis. I remember he had those multiple personalities he would do the interviews with.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. And then and to watch Sean Taylor grow into the player that we knew he was going to be, and the fact that everybody was robbed of that. It wasn't just Redskins fans that were robbed of what Sean Taylor could have done. everybody was robbed.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like
what Sean Taylor would have done.
Yeah, as I got older, the only
you're right. Mark Brunell was the quarterback, and that's.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a fun fact, not a fun fact, but interesting fact. Mark Brunell, when they were courting him, actually saved Joe Gibbs' life because while they were having dinner, Joe Gibbs choked on something. Brunell gave him the Heimlich maneuver, saved his life. So,
I mean, so the only team I still hate is the fucking Broncos. I fucking hate the Broncos. I hate everything about the Broncos. I
was laughing when Doug Williams and the Redskins smashed them.
I love it.
From the second quarter on. It was like 35 points on the board later.
The two reasons I hate the Broncos, one is because every time the Pats go up there, some fucking bullshit occurs. Just the bullshit of all fucking bullshit with the refs and everything. And the second thing is because I can't stand the hype around John Elway. I've never seen a loser get so fucking hyped before. He's a fucking loser. He's a loser.
He didn't start winning until they had a run game.
I
give more credit to Terrell Davis than John Elway. But they keep playing that helicopter like, oh my God, he led the. Of course, you're gonna say the quarterback led, but really,
unathletic dive into the end zone. TD
gets helicoptered.
A fullback. He ran a fucking dive blind, and nobody talks about that. He couldn't fucking see. He had to run right.
Yeah, he closed his eyes. I didn't saw that.
Blind. And they don't talk about win one for John. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you need to win one for John because he's already lost 4. Fuck him. Fuck the hype around him. Fuck his lack of football knowledge because they can't get any quarterback in there worth of shit. Fuck the Broncos. I know this guy in the Broncos
too.
Fuck them, man.
Y'all got anything else before we close?
That's it, man. I don't got nothing else. Fuck the Broncos.
Nationals are still up 7-1.
Ryan Tannehill start. Ooh, that's not good. Damn, what does that mean?
Oh yeah, I was about to say, not only did Weston Mariota get benched in that game, they were looking to start Tannehill, and there you go. Oh, he brought up Rod Gardner and Lavernius Cole.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Stephen Davis used to be a fullback when he started out. Then he got beat up by Michael Westbrook
on the Panthers,
and then all of a sudden he became the man.
I mean, we just talked about Mariota and James Winston. I mean, there's no surprise here. I'm not.
He'll be walking straight to the XFL.
But yeah, for y'all that brought up Sean Taylor, just so y'all don't know, just in case y'all don't know, he is like my favorite player ever. So yeah, definitely a special place for Sean Taylor. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Yeah, because I know the one game what was it? The one game I went to when Randy Moss was on Minnesota, that them two went head up. Moss didn't want any part of Sean Taylor. Neither did Terrell Owens. Neither did any receiver in that league. They knew better to try to catch something over the middle, or quarterbacks even knew better to even attempt to throw downfield because he would be there. He had mad range, could hit you. And in that Dallas game, heck of a run back, even though he had the face mask almost pulled off of him. And we wound up winning that game because of him.
Well, Pooh asked if there's any other trades we can see happening. I mean,
no. I don't.
I'm like, I know they were teasing. Right now, they're talking about Trent Williams going to the Browns.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That whole situation with Trent Williams.
I don't see nothing happening.
Yeah, that whole thing with Trent Williams. I know at this point they're well past apologies at this point and firing the medical staff. But when I saw it at the beginning, that's all they could have done that then. But now it's like we had no choice. We had to trade him or at least sit him for the rest of the year, get draft picks or something. So I really don't see who we can get for him that would be of value, if not a first round pick.
Yeah, I mean, there's no trades I can really.
No,
why hold him hostage? That's Bruce Allen's dumbass fault. That's apparently it's all in his hands whether he's gonna hold Trent Williams hostage. Obviously, Trent doesn't want to play with the Redskins, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Yeah,
and Bruce Allen's a bitch anyway.
I'm done. I don't have anything else to add. Thanks for everybody who coming through. This is episode 91.
Man, you sound tired as shit. Pep it up.
Man, I work hard, man. Shit, I don't have all the energy like y'all got. I go to work, yo. Then I got another job.
What you trying to say?
What are you trying to say? We just
what you trying to say?
Hey, whatever you do,
I go to work.
However you want to take it, bro. I go to work and then I got an 8-month-old. I mean, 8-month-old. He runs my life. I be tired.
Yeah, I'm reporting your ass on Twitter, man. You
won't be the first.
I'll hit slandering me. I hit slandering me and shit, man.
You won't be the first. You got people
tweet something out tonight and see what happened.
Flagging people right now on Twitter.
I'll be on your YouTube page incognito.
Right, exactly.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I figured out how it works.
Episode 92 is going to be Thursday. We're going to talk more.
It really does clear your history when you're incognito too. Once you leave it.
All right, go ahead. Keep going, DJ. Go ahead.
Go ahead, BM. Jesus. Go ahead, BM.
I'm letting DJ have a because as soon as I say something, he's going to say something else.
Not really.
Good.
Nah, man. Let's see.
You don't even remember?
No, I'm waiting because I know DJ's ready to say that.
Go right ahead. You've had 2 minutes of silence.
Yeah, because I know you're just waiting for me to say something.
Nah, go ahead.
But that creates more silence.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
Then go ahead. Go.
Next week, not next week, but Thursday, we're gonna talk about the XFL draft. I know a lot of people wanted to talk about that. It actually looks pretty interesting. Some of the players is gonna be on those teams. Way more talent than the AAF. I'll say that much. But we'll see if they can last.
Money invested.
Yeah, we can see if they can last 9 games.
Hopefully nobody steals it.
I can give a damn about Ninja suspension. Give a damn. I don't even watch.
Fuck that Ninja.
What's that about?
Right. I don't know, and I don't care if he's suspended. Good, more power to him. He could be suspended more.
I just know somebody's other new channels got dropped for some reason, but oh well.
Not my problem. That's pretty much gonna be the headline of the next episode is XFL. We're gonna come up with other topics as well. Appreciate everybody for coming,
including our picks for the upcoming week.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well. Bills, what you got before we go?
That's it, man. Thanks for coming through. It picked up towards the end. Hopefully we get the same crowd and more on Thursday. And yeah.
What about you, DJ?
I think you should have a soundbite when everybody's talking over you that says, "There's no talking when I'm talking, fellas, so shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I'm not that kind of guy.
You should have that soundbite. That would be hilarious.
You are that kind of guy.
Who?
Hey, man, what you talking about?
But yeah.
I'm a laid back guy, man. You tripping.
Man, you call somebody I'm not even gonna say the word. You said what did you say? Block me, faggot.
Hey, man. Shout out to Kurt Ford, man. Shout out to Kurt.
Yo, I found that in my screenshots the other day. I was fucking crying, yo.
Shout out to Kurt Ford, man.
No, don't
incognito suspension incoming for VF.
You won't be surprised, bro. He might. And you got people out here lurking, boy. They want to shut you down when you speak that real. They can't handle it. They can't combat what you say. So they
But we're not supposed to be talking about any of that because
I ain't talking about nobody
type of people.
I just know what happened. If they got a problem with what happened, then that's on them.
Fuck them.
Especially when they're deleting their own words. But anyway.
Censoring themselves because they can't handle it. All right, we're out, man. We're going to see y'all Thursday. Talk about the XFL. Probably have some other stuff going on, too.
And find me on Twitter, DJ81.
Yeah, we're not going to put our Twitter handles out here no more because people going around and trying to get them flagged down.
Oh, you know what? Fuck that. I need some followers. I'm putting that bitch up there. Hold on a second. Nah, follow me on Twitter. I'll take that risk.
You put it in the chat. Y'all follow that man on Twitter and we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all take it easy. See y'all Thursday.
Peace.
Peace. Go Nats.